Just a quick little update on this and that, and perhaps most especially this project here, the Imperius Maximus, which has been stalled for I don't know how many weeks since I soldered this guard on, or this collar really, and or we did, Bill Kennedy and I, and then I put it in the box, and somehow I guess I thought it was going to make itself or something. I don't know. I'm a huge procrastinator, but usually I procrastinate by doing things I love. But then I'll get into the middle of something like this, and I don't know why I can't justify it, except now I realize that everything happens for a reason, arguably. And I was just sitting here thinking, I got this out. I was watching a Patriot knife and tool video, and I was watching how he was polishing into a hollow grind in there with the 800 grit sandpaper and then steel wool. And I thought, well, that I got to do to this. And another thing I have to do, I realize, is grind some of the tang off in this direction, some of the width off in a taper down this way to be able to fit the handle on as it is projected. But since I started this, I got a Tormac. And since I got the Tormac, I've been figuring out how to use it. So for example, to start out, I just went in freehand. And if I go in freehand on this, I might mess up this lovely patina here. I might not be able to keep it on the bevel. So I figured out the fixed angle system for chisels. And there is a knife blade fixed angle system as well. So I just got to figure that out. And I've worn the stone down significantly enough now that it'll make a hollow grind, but it'll be more hollow than it was. And really, there's not that much left to do on this. It's just that this far in, I guess something else that happens maybe is I start to dread making some kind of mistake, some kind of big mistake. But really, how big? What's the biggest mistake I could make? I have another one of these. I can completely wreck this, and I can still complete the project. So you hear me pep talking myself here. So yesterday, when I could have been doing this, for example, I decided that I wanted to make some kind of weird little fish knife thing. I mean, I say fish knife because it reminds me of a fish in the shape. Kind of reminds me of this petrified fish folding knife, somewhat, almost. And some of the inspiration for this came from this little guy, which is a cuticle knife, razor sharp, as they used to make back in the day. You don't really see these things anymore, but it's a good tool. Bone handle, very nice, amazing. The detail on that. Also, I was looking at this, and if you have any familiarity with my bush knife, because I kept looking at that bush knife once I'd made it, and I'm like, yeah, it looks a bit like this, it looks a bit like that, it looks a bit like a tracker. But I'm telling you, there's something that this looks like. Did I see it in a dream or what? And then finally I was looking at this. Now it used to be a bit more rounded here. It used to have more of a belly, but I flattened that out when I sharpened it. So, if you catch my drift. What else? Been making a spoon. Oh, some interesting colors coming through on the camera. It's green wood, so it's looking a little gungy, but yeah, making this in a big spoon. And Do what you want with a blade like that. Felling might take a while though.